Hello, I'm Matt. Welcome to Unbearable 73. This week I'm reacting to 10 most recycled WWE finishes from Wrestlelamia. Let's get into it.
But there have been some iconic and beloved finishers in WWE. From the tombstone pile driver to the curb stomp, these finishes were perfect for the wrestler who used the move and eventually, over time, became synonymous with their character. Coming up with new and unique finishing moves is kinda hard. This has resulted in the majority of finishing moves being recycled and passed on to the next generation of WWE superstars. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 most recycled WWE finishing moves. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts.
Okay, what do we got?
Number 10, the Famouser. The Famouser has predominantly been used by 3 specific WWE wrestlers as a finishing move. The first wrestler was Marty Jannetty, but his version of the move often looked awkward upon execution. The wrestler then who popularized the move during the Attitude Era was Billy Gunn. Gunn performed the move tremendously, as he was able to get extensive height on his legs, which always looked great on WWE television. Finally, Dolph Ziggler has adopted the finisher as his move and now uses it as a secondary finishing move, often preferring the super kick or the zigzag finisher. Number 9, Pay Dirt. When Shelton Benjamin decided to abandon his popular T-Bone suplex finisher, fans were disappointed. Benjamin could hit the T-Bone out of nowhere, and it was a perfect fit for his character. Benjamin, upon the retirement of the T-Bone as his finisher, began to use a move known as Pay Dirt. This move sees Benjamin perform a jumping reverse STO. The move pales in comparison to the T-Bone suplex, and the move relies on the person taking the move to sell it with conviction. R-Truth would later adopt the move, renaming it as the What's Up, and then later rebranding the move as the Little Jimmy. Number 8, the...
So, that type of move, which you've seen all over wrestling, where I think Bray Wyatt uses a variation on it, where you grab the guy and try to drive him face first into the man next to you. It looks very safe, meaning... yeah, you'll fall, but you're not driving yourself down. You're just falling down, and you're not driving the opponent down, and he has to sell it, so to speak. So I like, whereas I hate the Famouser, for example. I think it's stupid looking and obviously injury potential. The previous one, better. Mandible Claw. Let's talk about it.
The Mandible Claw. The Mandible Claw is one of the more unique finishers ever presented in WWE. It was popularized by hardcore legend Mick Foley and involves a wrestler placing his middle and ring finger in the opponent's mouth and then sliding them under the tongue, pressing down on the tissue at the bottom of the mouth. The palm of the same hand is then placed under the jaw, and according to Foley, this should lead to the person taking the move to black out. The move was perfect for Foley, and unique finishing moves are always appreciated, and this is why it was welcome when The Fiend began to use the move. The Fiend would use a move in the majority of his matches, and he would even use a move on Foley himself in an incredibly memorable segment on Raw. Foley has had nothing but positive things to say in relation to The Fiend using his finishing move, and this is what the WWE Hall of Famer had to say during an interview with Sporting News. I'm really happy to see him use the move and to be shifting gears of that character to make it intriguing and exciting television.
I don't even put my
Number
own
7,
fingers in my
Camel
mouth.
Clutch.
The only finger that even ever go in my mouth for medical reasons, or my own if I'm trying to pick a tooth or whatever. I don't like to put my own fingers in there. Be damned if I let someone do that to me. Plus, I thought it was stupid looking. It looks... Here's the thing. A finisher has to look... a submission or finisher... if the dude's in front of you like this, unless you're unconscious, just uppercut him under the jaw or something. Or put him back in the mandible claw. It always came quite stupid to me.
Gory Guerrero is a wrestler who is widely regarded as the innovator of the camel clutch finishing move, but in WWE it was the Iron Sheik who popularized the move. Since the Sheik used the move, numerous wrestlers have recycled the move as their finisher, with only a few of them having major success. Wrestlers such as Muhammad Hassan and Rusev have all used the move, but neither of them has ultimately reached the heights that the Sheik did with the submission hold. In fact, when a wrestler uses the move in modern day WWE, it's appreciated if they offer a new take on the traditional...
Funny he should show that one. This is a wrestler, can't remember his name, but his gimmick came along at the worst possible time. There was some sort of anti-Middle Eastern phobia or whatever. I remember the whole thing. And Vince just squashed this guy to erase his character completely from existence.
move. This was seen with Veer as his version of the camel clutch is known as the cervical clutch and looks incredibly devastating as Veer traps one single arm behind his back before locking in the sinister clutch. Number 6. The Master Lock. Upon introducing the Master Lock in WWE, Chris Masters instantly became a huge deal. The full Nelson finishing move was immensely popular with fans, so much so that WWE even launched the Master Lock Challenge segments. In a weird turn of events, the first wrestler to break the submission, that being Bobby Lashley, would end up using the move as his own finisher years later in WWE, this time known as the Hurt Lock. Lashley has had tremendous success with the move and even won his first ever WWE title with the submission in 2021. Masters has spoken at great length in relation to what he thinks of Lashley using his finishing move, and this is what he had to say during an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
It doesn't change the fact that the Master Lock is the OG. And I know a lot of people are going to bring up Hercules and Ken Patera, but we're talking about in the modern era, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, I think Hurt Lock, Master Lock would still be kind of interesting. But, like, you know, it only makes sense for Bobby. I've never came out on, like, some dirt sheets and buried Bobby. And, like, here's the thing. Think about this. I mean, from my standpoint, would you rather have Bobby Lashley adopted or some guy maybe that they push for a month who doesn't even amount?
Number 5.
So, very good commentary there by Ken Masters or whatever his name was. I always thought that guy didn't get a good enough push. You know, he had the charisma and all that. Anyway, so yeah, and he brings up a point that annoys me. When WWE even ignores the history of a move, right, and they're known for that, okay, but they ignore their own guys. Hercules Hernandez, Ken Patera had the swing full Nelson where he do the full Nelson and swing around and round and round, and it looked intimidating, you know. Anyway, then there's the full Nelson suplex that some guys would do, which was pretty cool, you know.
Dream Street. Ted DiBiase Jr. opted to use a Cobra Clutch Slam for his finishing move. Dream Street paid tribute to his father, the $1 Million Man, and could look great if the wrestler taking the move sold it effectively. Years later, Jinder Mahal would recycle the move, and his version known as the Class has received criticism from fans. The problem is that Mahal was WWE's resident jobber, and when he was propelled into the main event scene, his finishing move just wasn't appropriate for a main event level star, as Mahal rarely ever won a match with the move. Mahal's version often looks awkward as he sometimes struggles to perform it correctly, leading to some fans suggesting that Mahal introduces a brand new finishing move into his arsenal. Number 4, the break.
And it looks stupid. I mean, what's the point of putting a guy in the Cobra Clutch, right? All of a sudden, you let him out of the Cobra Clutch to basically give him a rock bottom. That's what it is. It's a rock bottom from a Cobra Clutch. And it looks stupid, and it is stupid.
Down. The first ever WWE Undisputed Champion Chris Jericho is the king of evolution. Over his decorated career, Jericho has added several key moves to his arsenal, including adding brand new finishing moves. In 2001, Jericho introduced a new finishing move known as the Breakdown. This was a full Nelson facebuster, and Jericho would even win his first world title with the move when he defeated The Rock at 2001's No Mercy event. The Breakdown being used as Jericho's finisher would be short-lived, as Jericho would soon leave the move behind in favor of moves such as the Lion Salt and the Walls of Jericho. For the past 15 years, The Miz has used a version of the Breakdown as his finishing move, and his version is known as the Skull-Crushing Finale. Yeah. Due to Jericho only using the move for a short period of his career, most fans now associate the move with The Miz, as The Miz continues to use the move on a weekly basis and will likely do so until he retires. Number 3, the...
Yes, as I was saying, Sam and HW used to do a variation on this move. There's a name, there's a real name for it. Jericho didn't invent it. It's been around for years. I just don't remember it. Sorry.
Pedigree. Triple H's pedigree finishing move is one of the most iconic finishing moves in WWE. And when Seth Rollins began to use it as an alternative finisher, it made a ton of sense. Rollins was involved in a storyline with the game at the time, making it a logical addition to Rollins' moveset, and he continues to use the move.
Since Rollins is technically Triple H's heir in the ring, so to speak, Triple H mentored him. Of the 3 members of the Shield, Rollins is most associated with Triple H because of the way the heel turn happened, right? Although the Shield should be also associated with Triple H in general, you know, even though they're not. And obviously, Dean is never coming back to WWF, so.
The move as a finisher to this very day. According to Triple H during an interview with Fox Sports, he gave Rollins full permission to use the move. The game added, he came to me and he was like, how would you feel about it? But given the storyline and everything else, how would you feel about me using the pedigree? I was like, if you think that benefits you, please do. Like, I would be honored. And and it worked for him for a while. So yeah, I was happy for him to do it. There's moments in your career where things are like they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So for me, if he felt like it was meaningful to him, I was glad he could use it and get something out of it. Number 2, the stun.
So, again, I talked about the legacy essence. Plus, it's way better than that other thing Rollins. One of the other things that Rollins does, which is that turnbuckle power bomb. I would there's a list of maybe 20 moves, and it's probably a little more than that. But if you're a pro wrestler and you have to sell something, I would never. But God put me in there's an arm where the dude kind of like a pedigree where you guys do, but instead of jumping down, he lifts you and pile drives you. Never happened. Never let the turnbuckle power bomb happen. Never do a Benoit bomb. Never even. Anyway.
Stunner. When Kevin Owens began to use the stunner as his finishing move, fans were curious as to what Stone Cold Steve Austin thought of his beloved finisher being used. According to Owens, it was Austin himself who gave permission to use his finisher, which was a big endorsement for the former Universal Champion. This was fitting as Austin would come out of retirement in 2022 to face Owens in the main event of Night 1 at WrestleMania 38. Austin is offered nothing but praise towards Owens, and Austin is content with Owens carrying on the legacy of his celebrated finishing move. And number 1.
Kevin Owens does not get the push he deserves. Yeah, they push him, but not like he has the charisma. He has the ability in the ring. He literally they should be selling. I mean, he came out. I think he finally made up WWE when he was still under 30, and he's the closest thing to AJ Styles that's come along since obviously AJ Styles himself, so to speak.
The cutter. Johnny Ace is widely regarded as the innovator of the cutter finishing move, but over the past 20 years, the cutter has become one of the most popular finishing moves in WWE thanks to Randy Orton. It was initially Diamond Dallas Page who made the popularity of the move skyrocket, as he would use the move as a finisher both in WCW and WWE. But when Orton began to use the move in 2003, everything changed. Orton executed the move perfectly and he was able to hit it out of nowhere, making it one of the most exciting finishers that exist today. It was DDP himself who gave Orton permission to use the move as he was getting set to retire, and Orton was without a substantial finisher. Matt Riddle has also recycled a move and now uses an RKO as his finisher. This is mainly because he's one half of RK Bro, so it'll be interesting to see if Riddle continues to use the move when the duo inevitably breaks up. But there you have it, folks. 10.
So let's get the like on this one. Before I forget. Close up. So the thing about the RKO, and I will link a video to just Google RKOs out of nowhere, and it's one. There was a period of 5 years when it was the most meme video thing there was out there. It was crazy common, So, well, that has been the 10 most recycled WWE finishers. My name is Matt. This has been Emerald 473. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.